Hello, friends. Welcome to the last Virtual Bariatric Meetup of 2022. We are so thankful that you could join us live. And if you're watching this recording, then we're very thankful that you're accessing this support afterwards. This is the time of year, right, where we all want to really take a moment to reflect on our year that has been and make some plans for the year ahead. And Rodolfo and I, we talk all the time. We're very close. He's an expert in BariNation. And when he and I were talking about, what would be kind of a good theme for December's meetup, we really were inspired by this idea of starting to approach our New Year's resolutions in a different way. So this month's meetup, today's meetup, is really going to be about identifying who we want to be in 2023. It's going to be a bit of a different approach, because instead of starting kind of with the end in mind, instead of starting with well, I want to lose this much weight, or I want to do this, or track, or right, all of these things, we really want to approach it from a fresh perspective and thinking about the person that we want to become in 2023. So identifying that person, and then kind of working backwards and thinking about, well, if I was living my life as this person, what would I be doing every day, every week, every month? What would I be thinking? And Rodolfo is the perfect person to guide us through this work. This is his wheelhouse. If you guys have not had an opportunity to work with him one-on-one, or take a class with him in BariNation, or any of the supports that he leads also outside of our community, I highly recommend that you do, because he is a wizard. I call him the Miami wizard. He's my Miami wizard, because the man just has a knack of helping you identify exactly where you're stuck, and then helping you work through kind of that moment in your life. So just absolutely thrilled. So we're going to dive into introductions. We're going to cover our ground rules, and then Rodolfo is just going to walk us through the process of identifying who we want to be in 2023. So I will start off, and then Jason, Natalie, and Rodolfo will introduce themselves. My name is April Williams. I am one of the co-founders of BariNation. I had VSG in July of 2019. I have lost and maintained 120 pounds. And really, we started BariNation because we needed a safe place to connect, learn, and grow with one another and the experts. I met Jason at this very event. Well, not this exact event, but I met him at one of the VBMs that I was hosting before it was even really a thing. So I'm just so thankful for these opportunities and these spaces for all of us to connect with one another and just be together. Just thank you for taking your time out of your day today to join us. Mr. Jason, want to introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Jason Smith. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. And as April said, I'm also one of the co-founders of BariNation, and met her at one of these very events where she thought I was somebody I was not and tried to kick me out of the event multiple times. Most of you all know that story. But now I had VSG in March of 20 and lost 191 pounds, dealing with a little bit of regain, but with the amazing help of this community in BariNation and out of BariNation as a community as a whole. You guys are helping me get on the way back down. So I appreciate you guys for being you and for helping us as much as we help you.
Thank you, my friend. Miss Nat.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie. I also had VSG in 2020. I had a revision from 2 previous surgeries that failed and did not work for me. And then I met April and Jason after my most recent surgery. And it was meant to be, because we just clicked. We created this awesome community, and they support me as much as you all support me, as much as we support you. I know we say it all the time, but yeah, just happy to be here and excited to learn from Rodolfo today.
It's like the highlight of my week when we all get to hang out together, and of course we get to take in the expert knowledge of Mr. Rodolfo Alvarez. Rodolfo, will you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Rodolfo Alvarez. I'm a wellness coach. I'm from Chile, and I'm currently living in Miami, Florida. I moved this year in July. Since 2015, I've been supporting individuals to create a balanced and healthy relationship with food. And I'm an expert in BariNation since January of this year. So I'm almost celebrating my year being here with you, with this community that I love and embrace.
We are so thankful that our paths have crossed because, yeah, you've helped me, Natalie. I mean, you've helped so many people along their bariatric journey, and it's just amazing what you can do. All right, let's go over some ground rules, and then we're going to dive into it, my friends. So the mission of these virtual bariatric meetups is to support the bariatric community with humor, humility, and honesty. We are here to destigmatize bariatric surgery, to make sure that the support that we all need is available when and where we need it. And we just want to grow a community of like-minded people where we can learn from one another and we can learn from the experts. And of course, have this safe place to share these ideas and experiences that add value to our lives as patients and as people. So some ground rules today. Please assume and best intent. If you do choose to share publicly, just know, right, this is being recorded and anybody in the world will be able to see it and access it. If we see any nudity, violence, or isms in the background, we'll just remove you from the meeting. Swearing is my first love language, so sometimes some words drop. So just know that's okay. And just please know this is not medical advice. If you are going to make any changes to anything that resolves or anything that has to do with your bariatric surgery, always consult your surgeon. Okay, I think that was the quickest one I've ever done.
Ready to go? Ready to start?
Let's do this.
Excellent. So I already introduced myself. I will share, first of all, the objectives of today's meetup, which are the following. First of all, understand the most common reasons why people rarely reach their New Year's resolutions. Then we will understand the importance of being in the process of achieving goals. And we will finish crafting goals for 2023 and creating a plan for achieving those goals. Those are today's objectives. And I would like to start. Yes, April, please.
Sorry, Rodolfo. I did not mean to interrupt you there. I do want to make sure, right? This is a day intended for us to kind of put some work in. So if you make sure that you have something to write with, some blank pieces of paper, and I really want to encourage you, my friends, if there's something that you would like to say, if there's an aha moment that you've had, please unmute yourself if you feel comfortable. Just unmute and talk. We want this space to be a common space for all of us to really connect with one another. So don't be afraid to unmute yourself. Myself, Jason, and Natalie will be monitoring the chat. So if you put something in the chat, we will make sure that we call that out so that it's brought to Rodolfo's attention and that we can all kind of be on the same page. So, okay, let's do this.
Excellent. No, thanks for sharing that. And I would like to start sharing a statistic, which is the following. Just 8% of people meet their resolution from New Year's. And actually, I would like to think about, let's say, hypothetical situation. So it's the end of the year. Maybe that year you struggled, you didn't accomplish the goals that you wanted. And maybe you started thinking about the next year and the awesome things that you would like to create. The new year starts, you're very motivated. Week 1, you're doing great, excellent. And then week 2, maybe things are getting difficult and then you're not able to stick to your plan. So that happens to us, okay? And actually, the statistic confirms that. Just 8% of people meet their resolution. But I would like to explore with you why that happened, okay? And I will share the most common reasons. First of all, people define resolutions that are unrealistic. And when I say that, is that maybe you're defining something that is too hard to accomplish, and then on the way you feel frustrated and then you give up. Or maybe you're defining something that could be so easy and then for you could be boring. Another option is that your resolutions don't consider setbacks. So for example, let's say that I wanted to read 2 books a month, and then I started a new job that requires me to work more hours and I don't have enough time. So your resolutions need to consider that maybe things will not work as expected. Then maybe you're having a lack of accountability. What do I mean with this? For example, let's say that your goal was to save money and life will be stressful, will come up with challenges, you will have additional expenses that will happen. And it's important to have systems that allow you to stick to your goals and to achieve them, okay? And sometimes we don't have those systems, and we get immersed in this environment that is not supportive, okay? Then maybe you're not planning. And what do I mean with this? Let's say that you defined a goal, which was starting your business, and you didn't break that goal down in different chunks of activities that you could accomplish. And maybe you're thinking that everything will happen from one day to the other, but you don't have a strategy with steps that you can follow. That's the other thing. Maybe your self-doubt will emerge, okay? Let's say that you would like to create a healthy relationship with food. Maybe week 1 worked perfectly. Maybe week 2, you experienced a lot of anxiety and you couldn't accomplish that. And then you start having the thought that you will not be capable to achieve that goal, right? And the last point that is important to mention is that maybe you don't have a clear why, you don't have a clear purpose. So for example, you joined the movement cohort and you have a goal related to movement, and it's winter and you don't want to go out. You wake up in the morning, it's cold, and then there's a part of you that starts negotiating with yourself, saying, no, we can postpone this goal, this is not important. And maybe you're forgetting why you define that goal. And maybe you want to feel energized, you want to feel active, and you are just thinking about accomplishing or completing the task, which is something that maybe don't give you an immediate reward, okay? So those are the typical reasons why people don't accomplish their resolutions. And what we would like to do this year is to create a process that allows you to accomplish your goals. But this process will be different. We'll have a different structure, okay? So during this workshop, during this meetup, we will open a deep reflection process that will have the following steps. And you will answer actually the questions that you can watch on your screen. What challenges did you face in 2022? What are the lessons of 2022? In this part, we will integrate, right, all the growth that you have. Then we will connect with your why, with the person that you want to be. And at the end, we will define the strategy and the goals. That's the last thing that we will do. We will begin actually connecting with the resources that are already available, the resources that you have, the lessons of this year. We will integrate that, and then we will use that as a tool to create an extraordinary 2023, okay? Actually, I would like to make an analogy between the process that you will go through during 2023 and what happens from carbon or to carbon when it turns into a diamond. So I would like to stop for a little with the workshop, and I want you to connect with the goals that you would like to achieve in 2023. Just allow yourself to reflect on those goals. And maybe those goals could be related to your bariatric journey. Maybe they could be related to personal goals, to relationships, to a healthy lifestyle, to your finances, to love, to making a change in the community. Take just a second to connect and think about those goals. And now I would like to ask you the following. What's the person, or how is the person that will accomplish those goals? How needs the person to be? Maybe this person needs to be motivated, empowered, connected, determined, focused. Think about the characteristics of this person. So maybe today you are not that person yet. And maybe that's why you haven't accomplished those goals, right? So what I want to say is that you will go through a process of transformation. And that process of transformation will include learning, failing, growing. And that's part of life. if you want to turn into a diamond and you want to attract the life that you want and those goals, you will need to go through a process of growing and learning. And actually, diamonds needs to go through a process. And actually, there's a formula that includes a material that is exposed to pressure. And then with time, that material turns into something new. You will have to experience something similar. Time will have to pass. Life will come up with challenges that will be very uncomfortable, I promise. You will learn, and then you will turn into the person that you want to be. Okay? And one of the interesting things is that this process is already happening. So actually, 2022 and the lessons of 2022 and the growth that you have had, during 2022 will help you to turn into this person that you will be in 2023 and to attract those goals. And what I think that is relevant to do is to stop a little, connect with this year, and just understand in which part of this transformation process we are, and integrate the lessons of 2022. So I would like to open up a space of reflection. And I would like you to answer the questions that you can see now in your screen, which are the following. What challenges did you face in 2022? And what are the lessons of 2022? And as April told you, and as I told you, we want you to reflect. So what I'm going to do is that I will share my audio and I will play some music, and I want you to write the answers to these questions. And why I want you to write? Because when we write, we activate some processes in our brain that allows us to process our emotions. And I want you to experience that, okay? So for just 1 second, probably my screen appeared. Give me 1 second because I will share again my screen. So, and
Phil is the black spot.
Okay, so please let me know if you can see my screen right now. Yes, you can? Okay, perfect. That was the first test. Now I would like to test if you can listen to a song that I will play. Can you listen to the song? No song. Okay. Give me 1 second, please. Can you listen to the song now? Okay. Oh, give me 1 second. I know why.
Okay. I was like,
Now you can?
yes.
Okay, I learned the trick. So please, I want you to start writing now the answer to this question. What challenges did you face in 2022? And what are the lessons that you learned? So I would like to check if you need more time or if you think that you are ready. Please let me know. Because if you need more time, I can give you more time to keep writing, and then I will open up a space for sharing. Okay, you are the protagonist of this meetup. So I want to hear from you, your lessons. What was your 2022? What do you think, April? Do you think we're ready to continue, or do we give more time?
I think I would like just a few more minutes. I actually came up with more challenges than what I thought, and I'm just now getting to the lesson part of it. So
Excellent.
thumbs up. Is that good with everybody?
Yes, and I'm asking you because I'm not able to see the chat. So
Oh,
yeah, that's why. That's why. But Jason says yes. Okay, perfect. So please keep writing, and we will go back to the song. Okay. So I would like to open up the space for you to share. So if you want to share and you feel ready, please go ahead. This is your space. This is your community. So
Hi all, my name is Katie. I'm not sure, and I know what the prompt was, so I'm not really sure exactly what you want me to say, but this year was I was a bariatric baby, so I just passed my 1 year. And doing the reflection, I learned this year that I need to set boundaries because I spent a lot of time being disappointed in my partner, who is not what I needed. He wasn't as supportive as I hoped they would have been, and I grieve for who they're not. But at the end of the day, all I need is me, and that's a really lonely place to be. And then that triggers my binging and not so lovely decision making, because then I go into survival mode and I try connection with food in that maladaptive way. So my brain kind of hurts actually from this prompt. So that's really all that I have to say about it.
But there were challenges this year, which was your first year post-op, right? And there are lessons related to setting boundaries in your relationships, right? So what you shared is perfect. Thanks for sharing, Kati. Thank you.
Thanks.
Who's next?
I had a lot of challenges. And I didn't realize that I had it. So, right, in 2022, I felt like I was always behind, always right playing catch up, that I could never get caught up. I felt really disconnected from a lot of people in my life, from my OG friends, from my family, from my husband, at different times. I had a huge challenge with regain this year. That was and continues to be a challenge for me. And cravings and head hunger was a challenge, continues to be. And I found that I did a lot of comparison this year that was not helpful for me. Thank God I have a very supportive partner, and I just completely abandoned our personal finances. He took over paying all the bills and doing all of that, which is wonderful. But it also gives me panic a little bit because I feel just very disconnected from even like my, core family things. And I had a really difficult time saying no to people that I probably should have said no to. And that, by me not saying no to people, I couldn't say yes to things that were probably more important for me and in my life. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of unpack what those big lessons are. But Katie, definitely kind of what you said about boundaries. I think that's kind of a big lesson, is that I didn't set boundaries. And I even wrote like, I need to understand what is peace for me, like what's my peace, and then how do I protect my peace. And I think a bigger lesson is, I just need to I need to really be very methodical and plan out every moment of every day, because that's how I'm going to kind of set those boundaries, and that's how I'm going to really kind of accomplish what I need to, and know that I'm never behind. I'm always kind of right where I need to be. Yeah, and then the question that just kind of popped into my head, it's like, okay, well, if I'm feeling like I'm disconnected from people, I want to feel connected. And then it was like, do I know how to do that? Do I know how to like reconnect with people? So that's kind of a question that's floating around in my head right now.
Thanks for sharing, April. Thank you very much. Who's next?
Yeah, and in the chat, Crystal just said 2.5 months post-op. Congrats, Crystal. and have so much to learn. I still am not there with good decisions. Yeah, so struggling with making decisions, food decisions that are aligned to our bariatric goals. Yep. Robin said, yeah, comparison was one of her top ones. Well, yeah, Amy says comparison is hard, but we are all on our own journey. Yep. And it's like your own. I learned that in 2022, but I still have to work hard at it daily. Yeah, absolutely. Ashley, figuring out boundaries. Yeah, a lot of boundaries, a lot of boundaries.
Yeah.
Yep, and Katie just said right on, same. I wrote that exact thing down. Yeah, and is it safe to connect? Yeah. Yeah. Yep, and Crystal just said thank you.
I had one that was kind of similar to you, April. But mine was kind of in the opposite way of like trying to protect my peace too much in the opposite direction, to where I was saying no all the time. And then, you know, as I was sitting here, I was kind of like, oh, like I haven't really hung out with this person enough, or I haven't connected in this way that I intended to. So I think that was a challenge for me, was kind of being extreme. I think the year before in 2021, I was very yes, 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 doing all the things. And so this year I wanted to kind of protect myself. So then I went really far in the other direction. And so the lesson is just like, how do I find that happy medium of protecting my peace and also still connecting with people in a meaningful way?
Thanks for sharing, Natalie. And it's like the black and white mindset, right?
Yeah.
So finding middle points.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Natalie, you bring up such a good point. I think for a lot of us as people struggling with the disease of obesity, we have always isolated ourselves, and we're very afraid, right, to kind of say yes to like these new connections because we're just so worried about it, and we don't want to be seen, but we do kind of, right? It's like this new landscape. So that's a really interesting insight into how, right, saying yes is something you want to do, but it can be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think it wasn't necessarily being afraid. It was more of like, I remember how exhausted I was at the end of 2021 and I didn't want and mentally exhausted. And so I just didn't, I think that was the fear, maybe, was just that I didn't want to feel that way. But now I feel that way because of a different reason. So yeah, definitely a weird perspective.
Isolation is very comfortable until it's not. Like, people think that's where you want to be, and then all of a sudden you said no to so many things and you start looking around and you're like, oh shit. The phone stops ringing, the text stop coming, the invites stop coming, they dry up, and then you're like, oh damn, well, how do I reintegrate myself into these things that were that I felt like were just kind of piling on me before? Now there's just nothing to be in, there's no invites at all. So and the happy medium is something that we all need, because none of us want to be exhausted, but also none of us want to be alone. So
yeah. And it's not so much in my bariatric life, but in other aspects of my life that I'm feeling that. So
that's kind of the trend that we've all been, that you, me, and April and us have kind of been talking about. Like, it's so easy. It's kind of like double dutch with us with bariatric friends, and then once we start trying to do it in our normal life, it's kind of like, oh shit, how does this work again? Because with us, it's such a it's just seamless. Like, it doesn't matter how much time we've spent apart, we jump back in like we've been apart 10 minutes. And it just, for whatever reason, you feel those connections get a lot stiffer with your OG friends, because it's just the things in common aren't as great as the things that we share. Even though you guys have been together, I've got OG friends I've known for 30 years, and it's still kind of like, oh, hey, what's going on? Things just kind of, eventually you kind of look around like, oh, this doesn't feel the same anymore. And then, with the Barry friends, we just, the Barry fam, we just jump back into it like it's nothing. So it's definitely something that not only you kind of want to dig into on a personal level and figure out why those connections feel the way they feel, but also, kind of how can you reintroduce those in a meaningful way.
Thanks for sharing, Jason.
Yeah, and there's some great comments in the chat too. Amber says, right, challenges unhealthy relationships, and the lesson that she's really taking away from it is realizing I've never had a healthy relationship with myself and learning to set boundaries. So yeah, I think, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, and Jen just said Natalie had similar experience in saying no to activities rather than yes, it can be isolating. Yeah. Yep. And Amy just says we need to be selfish to learn to care and put ourselves first, but at what cost? Yeah, balancing it is so hard. Yeah, and I still playing the mind game, worrying about what people think.
So if you notice, you went through challenges during 2022, and there are lessons, and there are huge and powerful lessons related to setting boundaries, related to focus, related to putting yourself first. And maybe there are lessons that consider to finding middle point and not having the black and white mindset, right? So what I want you to do for now is to start integrating those lessons and start understand that your personal growth journey is something that you already started. So you are in the process. You have already been, right, in this process of growing. And these challenges and this new set of skills will help you to build the person that will attract the new goals during 2023. So thanks for reflecting, thanks for sharing, and I would like to continue with some other powerful contents. Actually, I would like to share this schematic, which is, I think, like the most essential schematic of one of my classes in BariNation. If you have attended my classes, this is like the pillar of my classes. So if you want to achieve a specific result, what you need to do is follow some actions, right? Have powerful inner state and have powerful thoughts or powerful beliefs. What do I mean with this? For example, let's say that I would like to accomplish a result, which is creating a balanced relationship with food, right? That's the result that I want to achieve. In order to achieve that result, I need to have powerful interpretations. Interpretations like what? For example, I'm a wise person. I can be aware of why I'm eating. I have the control over my relationship with food. If I have those thoughts, I will feel empowered. I will be aware. And then on a daily basis, I will be checking my habits. What's the final result? At the end of the year, I would have created a healthy and balanced relationship with food. So everything starts with your thoughts. If today you are not achieving a specific result, that's because if you follow this structure, you have thoughts or beliefs that are not aligned with those thoughts, okay? So what's interesting of this sequence? That is related to this other sequence. If you want to have a balanced relationship with food, which is the last circle, if you want to have a balanced relationship with food, what you will have to do is to follow some actions. Like, for example, ask yourself before eating, am I hungry? Or maybe I'm experiencing head hunger, right? And what will allow you to do that and ask yourself those questions is the person that you are being in that moment. What do I mean with this? In that moment, I will need to be, or I will be an aware person, a person that is aware of what I'm doing, right? Or for example, if the result that I would like to achieve is to create healthy relationships, that's what I would like to have, then I will have to follow some actions. So for example, relate to people and set boundaries, say no, right? And connect with them. And what will allow me to do that is being a confident person. So if you notice, who we are is what triggers a set of actions that we can follow, and then we achieve the specific results. This sounds very logic. Probably some of you think that this is obvious, but what I need to tell you is the following. In a normal day, we tend to focus on doing, not in who we are. So for example, we are thinking about what we will eat during the day. And we think that if we eat specific foods, then we will be aware, or then we will be healthy, and then we will have a balanced relationship with food. So we tend to focus on doing, right? Or in terms of relationships, if I want to create healthy relationships, what I can do is to meet new people. But maybe when I meet those new people, I'm not being confident and I don't set boundaries. So when we focus on doing, we tend to get stressed. We tend to just like follow actions, but those actions will not necessarily take us to the results that we want to achieve. Why we changed the focus of this workshop, and instead of doing New Year's resolutions, we are talking about the person that you can be during 2023. Because if you focus on doing, then what is likely to happen is that you will get lost. So for example, if you want to save money, maybe you will focus on taking some money aside, but then you will make some money. And if you are not wise, or if you are not careful, or if you're not responsible after, you will lose all the money. So maybe you will get the result, but then you will lose the result. If you are someone that is responsible, someone that is wise, someone that is careful, then your actions will be consistent with that, and then you will have and create the results, and you will keep the results. So your focus should be here at the beginning, in this green circle. Be who you are being. If you are being someone that's focused, then you will plan your day, define tasks that will be tasks of value, and then you will have, or you will accomplish the goals that you want to achieve. If you're not being focused and you do things, probably those tasks will be tasks that will not take you where you want to be, because maybe it will be tasks that have no value. So everything starts from the person that you are being, and then that person will attract resources, will follow actions, and then that will take you to the result. If you are following a diet, but you are not being aware, that diet will just be another diet. Because maybe you are not making the change in your mindset that will allow you to add a new set of habits, like, for example, asking yourself, why am I eating? What am I experiencing? What do I need? Which are the habits that will help you to create the results in the long run. Am I being clear with this? And actually, oh, sorry, April. Actually, the best coaching that you can give yourself in a normal day is, who am I being? That's the best coaching that you can give yourself. If you feel lost at some point, ask yourself, who am I being right now? Am I being a confident person? Am I being someone that set boundaries? No, I'm not. Okay, maybe that's what I need. Connect with those resources. Am I being someone that is conscious? Yes, April, please.
Yeah, right. Because what I was thinking as you were going through this, it's like, okay, so let's say that, right, something, I have a goal in 2023 of understanding, of prepping all my meals. If I skip the being part and just do the do, I'm missing out on what is actually the most important element of all of this, and that is, right, becoming a person who meal preps. Right. So it's okay to have a goal, to say like, oh, well, I want to, you know, I want to meal prep. We need to know why we want to meal prep, but really what we need to do is understand who is a person that meal preps, right? It's somebody who's organized. It's somebody that's forward thinking. It's somebody that values, right, nutrition and wants to, you know, understand it. So that's where we actually need to start, not necessarily with what the actual goal is. Is that correct?
Is that correct? And actually, maybe someone that practices self-care. And that's why I will prep my meals, right? So being that person, I will prep my meals, and then I will have them ready to go for the week. That's what I will do. But if I just go to the kitchen and I start like preparing my meals, right? But inside, I'm a person that doesn't practice self-care. In a regular day, I will have the meal and I will not eat. They are going to be there at the fridge and they will be storage there. And that's it.
right?
Because the focus needs to be connected to who you are to attract the resources and use them.
Yeah.
If not, you will lose them.
Because if I'm saying to myself constantly, oh, I'm never going to figure this out, or this is so hard, or I don't know why I'm trying, I'm not being the person that I want to be. But when I run up into, you know, when I bump against this point in the change process where things do get difficult, I really need to have this growth mindset. And I really need to say to myself, okay, I'm not this person yet, but this is the person that I want to be. And I will figure this out. I will accomplish this, or, you know, I will understand this. And this is the type of person who meal preps and plans, right? It's that growth mindset shift that can be so hard to go from, I can't do this to, no, I can do this. And I think where it gets tricky is we think that if we say those things to ourselves, we have to believe them. But we don't actually. We don't have to actually believe what we hope for. We just have to start saying it, because saying it is what will get us to the belief part.
Right. And for example, I will give another goal. Okay. Let's say that I would like to add movement to my life, and I'm not used to move my body. So if I focus on being determined, being motivated, then if it's snowing, I will go out, or maybe I will not go out, but I will find a routine that I can follow at home. And then with that, I will accomplish my goals, right? So everything starts with choosing to be the person that gets the results in the present. An interesting thing is that if you focus on doing, like, for example, okay, I will go for a walk for 30 minutes and I focus on just doing, there are some days that doing will be hard and it's going to be uncomfortable. And it's so easy to postpone it, right? And just forget the goal. But if you focus on being a person that gets motivated and a person that goes through challenges, then if it's snowing, you will be motivated anyways, and you will go through challenges. And that will make you accomplish your goal. And maybe at the beginning, for you, the thought that you are motivated is not real, but actually later I will teach you a trick to start shifting your negative self-talk. But you can start just being aware that for today, you can decide something different. And today you can be a motivated person. And that's the first step. And then with time, you can reinforce that thought and find more evidence. But just focus on the present in the beginning, in the present moment, and who are you being right now in this moment? Am I being clear?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a very powerful shift. Yeah, and Rodolfo, I'll just read you some comments because yeah, this is huge. So Ashley just said all of these things need to be in alignment in order to stick, right? Otherwise, you're fighting against yourself. Exactly, right? So we need to be, do, right? Be, do, have. And then Jen says this framework explains so many past weight loss, quote unquote, failures, where the focus is on the action rather than the focus on being a person who is living their values and beliefs. Right. And beyond weight regain, yep, it translates to all of the challenges. Yep.
So the focus was on doing, right? Here, this is schematic. And actually the focus needs to be in being, right?
Mm-hmm.
A typical example that I see is like someone that wants to find a new relationship, right? So what people tend to do is like, oh, I will go out on dates. That's what they do. So they focus on doing. And then they go out on dates. They meet someone. In the interaction, maybe they are not confident. They don't like the person that they are. They don't trust in themselves. And then they lose the person. Or maybe they sabotage themselves and then they don't reach out again to the person, right? So that's an example of like how doing is not the way, right? You need to first be confident, know how to set boundaries, trust in yourself, feel attractive, then go out, meet people, and then you will attract the people. And you will generate the results. If not, there's a part of you that will feel that like can't trust and that what is happening is not relatable and is not real. And then you will sabotage yourself.
Wow, you guys are putting some really powerful aha moments in the chat. Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing these. Yeah, Crystal just said for me, it said, I thought I had to have everything figured out by the time I got out of the OR, but I need to realize that every day is a learning experience. Yes, right? So for you, you are going to become a learner, right? Like that's your, you want to be a learner. So then when all of these new things come up, right, then it's like, oh, no, I am being a learner because I'm learning, I'm taking in all of these new things. And then you're applying that learning to doing things along your bariatric journey. Yeah. Yeah, Katie said something really powerful. She said, I've been lying to myself that I am worth it as a fat person. I've always projected confidence, you know, saying like, quote, I don't care what others think, but really I haven't felt that I am worth being well, doing real self-care. Yep, and Ben said, yeah, progress over perfection, exactly, yeah.
So I would like to know if we have questions about this, because this is like the diamond of the class, of the workshop. Like if you understand this today, then you will be able to generate awesome results during 2023. But no one tells you this information, which is the most important. If you are not being aware, then how will you create a healthy relationship with food? If you are not being confident, then how are you going to create healthy relationships and set boundaries? If you're not being empowered, how you will start your business and create a project? Everything starts from who you are. So it seems that we don't have more questions, or we don't have questions for now. And what I would like to do now is to open a second space of reflection. Okay, so I want you to write down again the answer to the following questions. Don't start yet. Give me 1 second. So, who do you want to be in 2023? Meaning, how's the person that you want to be? Describing the being. Maybe you want to be accountable. Maybe you want to be loving. Maybe you want to be committed. Maybe you want to be motivated. You want to be aware. You want to be confident, empowered, etc., etc., etc. Okay, that's the first question. And the second is, what's your why? Okay, so if you want to turn into someone, it would be relevant to understand why being that person is important for you. Why? Because in a normal day, life will happen. You will face challenges, and your why will be the force that will take you back and make you align again with the person that you want to be. So please get ready to start answering. I will share my audio, so I would like to check if you can listen to it. Yes, excellent. So please start writing the answer to those questions. Thank you, Marisa. So please start closing. So I would like to open up again the space for you to share. Remember that this is about you, okay? So if you are ready, please share your answers. Who says me? Who do you want to be in 2023? And what's your why?
You know, when I was really thinking about how do I want to be, and then thinking about that why, right? It's like, well, I want to be someone who meets deadlines, who is on top of things, or who's even ahead, right? And it's like, why do I want to feel that? Because I don't want to feel stressed out. I don't want to feel pressure. I don't want to feel like I'm not meeting expectations, right? So the why for me is really based in these things that I want to feel, right? Like in 2023, I want to feel accomplished. I want to feel, on top of things, but I also want to feel some peace or some lightness in my life, right? I want to feel like I can take a breath every now and then and just be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is having like a sense of control. And when I say having a sense of control, I don't say it as a way of being like a controller. I say it as like, there are systems that I can rely on and I can like focus on other things that I would like to, and I know that everything will be fine. Is that?
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because I almost wrote down like, I want to feel in control, or I want to be in control. And for me, that panics a little bit as a control freak, as a type A, right, control, like, but I think a lot of the work that I have done in 2023 that I'm proud of is I have gotten really good at understanding and acknowledging things that are within my control and things that are not within my control, and just letting go of the things that cannot be controlled and just focusing my energies on the things that can be. So it is okay then to feel like I'm in control, as long as I acknowledge I want to feel in control of the things that I can control. Okay.
Yeah, and what comes up to my mind is like, maybe you want to feel powerful. And when I say powerful, it's like with the capacity to have this control, and that everything will work, and trusting in yourself.
Yes, I do want to feel
like,
yes. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I do want to feel powerful. I'm
or
just
empowered,
so tired of,
maybe. Yeah. Word.
Yeah, I guess I'm just so tired of coming from a place of always feeling like I'm behind, always feeling like, oh my God, I'm missing, I'm letting people down, I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of that. I want to be a person who is powerful in the best possible way. So I want to be powerful to do good. And right now I feel like I can't do good because I'm always scrambling.
Well, you're taking the power back of being the person that can get the things done you say you're going to do. Yours isn't power from the standpoint of having all of the power. Yours is just being the fact that you're used to being the person that when you say something's going to get done, it gets done, on time, if not early. And lately you've been sliding off of that. And that's where you feel less powerful, less in control. And taking that control back is what brings you the power to be able to say with confidence that you're going to do something and it gets done the right way to your standards, because we all know that your standards and regular standards are completely different things. And there's nothing wrong with that, but holding yourself to such a high standard and not meeting that at any point in time is what sets you up to feel the way that you're feeling now.
Yeah, that is, thank you, my friend. Thank you for being my mirror.
Not that I know you or anything. It's like,
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, April. And I would like to know if someone else would like to share. And actually, I would like to know if we have like some comments on the chat, because maybe we have.
There are so many comments, but my friends, if you do feel comfortable, just please unmute yourself and share what's going on in your head right now.
Please.
Well, it's Katie again. I'm sorry. You guys are
Katie.
hurting my brain, legit. I just wanted to share that I want to be more authentic. So, you know, we hear on the podcast all the time about that people pleasing that we tend to be, and that once our authenticity comes out, everybody's like, well, who's this person? Like, I've always been this person. And I want to be able to have everybody experience my authenticity. And there's this meme that I saw, I don't know if it's a GIF or a meme, and I'm going to butcher it, but the idea is that doing healing and self-love, it's not about making a better version of myself, but loving and accepting the versions that I am. And that's what is, you know, this ultimate goal that I'm hoping for 2023. And then in turn, self-care and taking care of myself and setting boundaries, all those things will happen.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Katie. Who's next? Remember that this is your night. So please feel free to share. This is your space, your community.
There are some great comments, and I'll just read them. Oh, did somebody unmute?
I did. I think for me, what I wrote down is that I need to keep loving myself, because I knew, like, during the first year and a half, when you're like in that honeymoon stage and everything's working good, and part of the reason everything's working good is because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do in the journey. So your confidence level is higher and you're happier and you start loving yourself again. And I feel like in the last 6 months has been really bad. But I've been slacking for probably the last year, as far as, I mean, I still do my vitamins and the water and all of that, but like, as far as like movement, and I know movement helps the endorphins, and through the process, I was able to get off antidepressants. And now I'm like, well, shoot, it's winter again. Do I need them again? Probably not. I need to go back. You know, it's all about going back to those original basics that you did during that first year and a half of this whole entire process. It's everybody, I don't know, so many of us think this is all like physical, but it's so stinking mental. It's unreal. Yeah.
So Robbie, I have a question for you, because you want to go back to the fundamentals. So who do you want to be?
I think I just want to be that girl in the beginning that was so, like, my first word was like dedication to myself. Like, you know, I had it in my head, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I've just kind of recently let a lot of that go.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is dedicated, consistent, persistent, determined. That's what I'm listening, right?
Right.
Thanks for sharing.
Sure.
Two of the biggest books that helped me this year were all about what you are talking about, Robin. Right? I think we think that our bariatric journey, that when we reach a milestone, a goal, a size, a shape, we check, and then we're done, right? But the bariatric journey is not like earning a college degree, right? It's not something that you can check off and then move on from. It's something that we have to continually do day in and day out. And it's those little things that are what lead us to those goals. And as soon as we get to that place that we think, oh, okay, I've done it, we stop doing all of the little things. But it's the little things that will maintain what we've done. And for me, it's been really becoming aware of what were those little things that I was doing in the beginning, when I was, yes, I can do it. This is great. Everything's rocking and rolling. I stopped doing a lot of those things, and I need to get back to them. Yeah, powerful.
I thought about
Exactly.
I thought about it the other day in the way like what you're talking about, April, and I thought about the check boxes and checking the goals and get to them and they go away. But instead, I think of them like collector artifacts, things that you go back and look over and appreciate as time goes by. You can always check back and kind of inventory all the things, the pieces you collected over time, because that keeps you accountable in your journey. Because like my word for who I want to be in 23 is consistent, because I deserve it. I've kind of let it all go. A lot of it, like what Robin and a lot of other people are saying, because you get there and you're like, okay, well, I'm kind of done now. I'm just going to coast on my accomplishments at this point, because you know what? It's kind of like reaching tenure at your job. You're just like, yeah, now I can just coast because I made it. Like I got there. But when you get to a point that starts happening, you start realizing that what's happening is not serving you anymore. You have to kind of dig back down and realize that you're worth continuing. You gotta keep going for you, because no one else is going to do it for you. Everybody can have empathy for my journey and sympathy for what the backslide and all that, but nobody's going to show up to my house and make me not eat the bad stuff or make me go to the gym. No one's going to pick me up and take me there. So I have to do it for myself because I deserve it.
Thanks for sharing, Jason. Thank you very much.
There's some great things in the chat.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah. Yep.
What's
So
happening?
yeah, a lot. Yeah. Crystal just said, me too. I'm tired of feeling tired. Right. Yeah. So, right. And I'm right with you there. I want to be a person who's energized. I don't want to be a person that's always tired. Right. So how do I be an energized person? Amber said, 2023, I want to be present for myself and loved ones. Why? To break generational cycles and give my kids the foundation I am currently rebuilding, creating for myself. So powerful. Marissa says, I want to be the person who prioritizes their continued health by recommitting to incorporating regular, meaningful movement and meeting my vitamin and water goals. Yes, friends, my why. I deserve to feel my best. This is my greatest lesson this last year post-op. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, Jen said, I heard some interesting terms here and jotted them down. I want to be empowered to set up systems that support who I want to be. I've not considered creating infrastructure to perpetuate success and who I want to be before. Absolutely, right? There's I'm totally going to butcher this, but there's that saying. It's like you don't fail your habits, you fail your systems, basically, right? So it's talking about, right, if we really want to build these habits, we have to focus on the systems that allow those habits, right, to happen. Yeah, and Tabitha said, back to being driven by me, for me. Yes, and Amy, yes, oh my God, yes, mental, it's draining mentally, but it's worth the work. It is. Yeah, I hope, and I know, I think we all know exactly what you're saying. We hope this works, but hope is what drives our continual work. And I think the reason that our bariatric community is so powerful is that you have people that are fighting through that worry, that doubt, and they are working towards hope. And even if every day it doesn't work out exactly as you thought it would, there is hope everywhere you look around, because people are living successful bariatric lives. People are doing it. And if they can do it, you can do it. That's that hope piece. Katie says, I love that there are so many whys. I love that there are so many whys are us, right? We are doing this for us. Initially, my why was for my daughter, showing her perseverance, self-confidence, but I do this for me, and she'll be able to see and feel it anyways. Absolutely, right? If we are the living example of it, then it goes back to that hope piece. Oh, mom can do it. I can do it too. Yeah, Robin said, yep, we have to keep reevaluating us. Yeah, Persephone said, my why is that I need to figure out who I want to be for myself and not who I want to be for everyone else. Living my whole life for others, and know that my kids are, when my kids are gone and the house is empty, trying to find what I want for myself has been more overwhelming than I could imagine. For now, I think it's easier just to focus on how I want to feel. Yes. How do you want to feel? Start there. Start with that why, right? Who do I want to be and why? That why is that feeling. it's so much easier to connect with our feelings and then build our systems, build our thoughts, build our actions around those feelings. Because when things come at us in life, we can now use our feeling as a yes or no, right? So if I want to feel in control and something comes at me, I can say, is saying yes to this opportunity going to help me feel in control?
Mhm.
If the answer is no, I don't do it, because that is not aligned to who I am this year. That is not
And
aligned
your
to
values and your values
Yeah.
too, which
Mhm.
we will check in a while.
Yep. Ben said, I want to be a doer. I have been a dreamer without action most of my life. My why is because I'm responsible for my own happiness and success.
Mhm. Mhm. Excellent. Thanks.
Yeah.
And in that case, it's like being a doer, right? But that's related to maybe being empowered, determined, structured, organized, focused, driven to action, right? Those could be
Mhm.
some of the characteristics. Are we ready to continue? Excellent. Let's go. So now I would like to share some tips for you to live as the person that you want to be. Because maybe we are talking about like being a specific person, and this could sound like a little abstract. And right now I would like to make it tangible, like give you specific tools that you can use every day, okay? So first of all, recognize that what you are looking for is not there in the world. So for example, there was a question by the chat related to being energized, right? So the energy is not something that is available in the universe and comes to me. It's something that is already inside of me. And maybe what I need to do is first connect to my intention to be energized. And then what I can do is to move my body. And after moving my body, I will feel full of energy. But those resources are inside of me. I don't need someone to come to me and maybe move my body. I can make the choice. The power was always inside of me. And the same happens, for example, if you want to be loved, you need to start first recognizing that you can love yourself, loving yourself, setting boundaries, and then you will get something from the outside. So all the things that you need are inside of yourself. It's important to just stop and take the time to acknowledge them, right? And don't get lost on doing, because when we get lost on doing, we forget that we have all the resources inside of us, okay? So for example, if you're struggling with emotional eating, I just stop, connect to my body, and the answers are inside of me. And I can detect what am I really needing in that moment, which maybe is not food. That's the first tip. Then, second tip, look for roadblocks on your path, okay? So maybe you will define the person that you want to be during 2023, but my suggestion would be to break that down and maybe define specific goals for every month, and maybe specific goals for every week, or for a specific day, actually. So today I would like to be focused. So a focused person, what we'll do every day is the following: define actions that we'll complete, purposes for those actions, and then with that, you will be able to track your progress, okay? And if there are some challenges that you are facing on a specific day, then you manage those challenges. Maybe you will have to deal with your limiting thoughts and their self-doubt that will emerge. Maybe there are some days that you would like to postpone because there's a challenge that you have to face, that will be uncomfortable. Or maybe you will have to deal with anxiety because you're scared about possible outcomes, okay? The only tool that will help you to go through those roadblocks is to be focused on the present moment, the person that you want to be in that day, and going back to your purpose. Focus is a very powerful tool because it will allow you to go back to your purpose. Wait, I told myself that I was going to be empowered, right? So how would an empowered person act in this situation? That's the question. I take in on myself, and then I open a space to redesign who am I being, right? And of course, there are moments that being the person that you said that you wanted to be will be hard. That will happen. Life will come up with challenges. The point is to go back. If you notice that for you it's hard to be who you said that you were going to be, you go back. You check in and then you go back. That's the second tip. Then the third tip, define your truth and your values. I think that there's no coincidence that today you have shared a lot about boundaries, okay? And in this process of turning into the person that you want to be and achieving your goals, you will have to make changes in your environment. When I say environment, what I mean, for example, is changes in your routine, or changes in the person that you relate to, or changes in the way that you relate to people, right? And before doing that, I think that is relevant to connect to your values. When I say value, what I mean is something that you assign value to. So for example, for me, I assign value to creativity, or I assign value to keep growing, right? Connect to your values and then ask yourself if your current environments are aligned with those values. And if they are not, then you will have to make some changes. Probably the person that you are today is not the person that you were 1 month ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. And maybe your relationships changed. And that's fine. But the point is that you need to make sure of who you are and what you want for your life. Because if not, then maybe you want to be someone and your environment will be against who you are. And it's going to be hard for you to keep being that person. It's not going to be consistent, will not match. So you need to make sure that who you are matches, right, with your environment. What do I mean with this? For example, I want to have relationships in which I set healthy boundaries. So I need to relate to people that have the same values. Because if not, I could start having toxic relationships. Because maybe the other person is not vibing with the same that I am. Am I being clear with this? This is very, very important. Okay, perfect. Then release any thoughts that contradict your truth and focus. So if I have a goal, which is, for example, I have a movement goal, okay? I will walk the 7 days of the week or 5 days of the week. That's totally fine, whatever is realistic for you. And I have a thought that is not aligned with my goal, I will doubt the thought. So for example, if I'm telling myself, you are not capable, what I want you to do is to go through a process to doubt your limiting thought. So if you're telling yourself that you're not capable, ask yourself, am I not capable, or I'm just telling myself that I'm not capable? And then ask yourself, I have been capable in the past of achieving specific goals. Yes, I've been. Okay, what worked those times? And doing that, what you're doing is finding new evidence that will give support to a new thought, which is not the thought of I'm not capable. It's the thought of if I connect with specific resources, then I will be capable. And with that, you're opening up new possibilities. So if you find yourself having negative thoughts, question those thoughts. Try to find evidence of the opposite. And then with that, you will come up with a new thought that will be aligned with the goals that you want to achieve, okay? So after giving you all that information, we reached the point of the workshop of the meetup in which you will start designing a strategy for 2023, okay? So maybe you may notice that this is like the opposite of a New Year's resolutions workshop, but we achieved the part in which you can start defining what you want to have in 2023. But this time, you will first start with who do you want to be? So for example, if I would like to reach a specific weight, I will ask myself, oh, what do I have to do in order to achieve that weight? And then I will ask myself, who do I want to be in order to follow those actions? And that's the beginning, who you are. Maybe I would need to be consistent, determined, focused, aware of my well-being. I will be a person that practices self-care, etc. And then after that, you will be able to define what you will have, and you will get your New Year's resolutions. But everything starts with being since this moment. Okay, everything starts with your being. So I would like to open up the space for you to ask questions related to the contents that we covered tonight. Okay, I know that this could be maybe the beginning of a work, right? That is deeper, that is much deeper related to exploring what do you want to have. We didn't talk basically about that, but we talked about the importance of being, which is the engine that will allow you to create those results. So I would like to know if you have questions, because I think that the homework that you have after finishing this workshop, this meetup, is to start connecting with the results that you would like to attract. Now you know how, right? You know that you need to focus on being, then defining the actions, and then you will attract those results. But I want to know if I'm being clear with all the information that I've been providing you. And I would like to clarify any doubts.
I think that what makes all of this so powerful is that it's okay to, you know, to almost start with, okay, what do I want to achieve in 2023? What are the things that I want to get done or accomplish, right? That's the have part. But then our homework is to really go to the being. Okay, if this is what I want to accomplish in 2023, who do I need to be to get that done, right? So instead of focusing on like just the goal, we're going to do the real work of what type of person do I need to be to achieve that result, right? So who do I need to be? And then what do I need to do to achieve those results? It's just it's a shift. It's a really big shift. But if we focus on, well, this is really who I want to be. This is how I want to feel in the new year. Then, right, we can really, then the next question from that B is, okay, then what would I be doing if I was feeling those things? What would I be doing if I was living my life as that person? And those are those daily actions, right? Those are those little things, those mundane things that we're doing that will eventually lead to the result. But our focus is not really going to be on the goal. Our focus is going to be on who do I need to be to achieve those things. So you do need all three. But we're just saying, let's not focus so much on the achievement. Let's focus more on who do I actually have to be? And then what actions align to that being? What actions align to that feeling that will give me those results?
Yes, the best summary, April.
Yeah,
And I think
actually,
the cool thing about that, April, that you were just saying, is that it's already inside of you, is what Rodolfo was saying, that like the strengths lie inside of you. You've already been successful in whatever avenue we're talking about. You already done it. It's just about like having faith in yourself. Sorry, go ahead.
couldn't have said it better.
That was excellent.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing.
But yeah, the book that really helped me understand that was The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And in that book, he basically says, like, I'm not going to teach you anything new, because you already know how to achieve your goal. You've already done it, right? And especially as bariatric patients, even if you've just made the decision, the commitment to have bariatric surgery, you've already done that piece, right? Or after surgery, you start to lose weight. You already know what you need to do to continue to lose weight and then to maintain it. It's all of those little things, right? Kind of the same thing with movement. If you want to be a person who moves, that movement is a part of your life, you already know kind of what you need to do. Oh, I need to move. I need to do it even on the days that I don't feel like doing it. I need to find something that I love. I need to find something that doesn't feel like it's a punishment to me, right? Like, we know these things. We already have it all. Yeah, Michelle, it is a great book. Yeah, and Ashley, I did the exact same thing. I divided my paper into 3 columns, right? Be, do, have, right? So if I want to be a certain way, yep, I'm gonna have to do these things, and then I will have those results. Oh yeah, Amy, I love it. Rodolfo, she said, I think I'm gonna have post-it notes throughout my house and car for a while to remind myself, be all over.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. And if something is not working out as expected, ask yourself, who am I being? And I promise you that that's the best coaching that you can give yourself, because you will be, oh no, like I'm not being responsible. Like I'm not being empowered. Like that's who I need to be. Okay. So I connect with that and then I start again.
Yeah. Yep. And you guys, if you do not follow Rodolfo on Instagram, I highly recommend that you do. He will probably, I just know him well enough to know that he's going to make graphics. He's going to be prompting us on this Instagram feed for the entire 2023, because he's on a mission to help us all be who we want to be in 2023. So he will have those powerful reminders. If you're a member of the BariNation membership community, we will also be sharing these powerful reminders as often as we possibly can, because we want to be everywhere with you too, right? We're doing this work with you. So yeah, just know that we are going to be looking for ways to really reconnect us all to our being. Who do we want to be? Awesome. Well, my friends, how are we feeling? Rodolfo, do you have more to share? Or is that kind of the conclusion? Oh, yeah.
No, for today, I would like to share some surprises that maybe April, could you share them, because are related to BariNation?
Yes, I'm happy to do so. So if you are a member of BariNation, Rodolfo is going to be leading. We're going to start off with 3 months, a 3-month Being Me cohort in 2023. And he has come up with some phenomenal classes, kind of mini classes that he's going to be offering every single week. So in this cohort, we can join together to continue to do this work in a bit of a more private and safe environment instead of publicly. He will be leading a meetup every single week that will just be hyper-focused on this. We've already kind of gone through, he's mapped out exactly the topics that we're going to be focusing on. And basically, it's going to be all about understanding why change is hard, how we can kind of fight through change, and how we can be consistent. So this cohort is really going to be an amazing place to continue to do this work. Yeah, the cohort's going to be phenomenal. So if this is something that you would really like to continue to focus on with people who are focusing on the same thing, then if you're not a member of BariNation, join today. If you are a member of BariNation, this cohort will open on December 19th. So the space will be open then, you can join it. You will see all of the upcoming class dates. And again, just a really wonderful place for us to really continue to do this work. And we're just so thankful that Rodolfo is going to be leading this for us, because it's monumental work, but it's like, for me, it's the only work that's kind of worth doing right now, because if I don't figure this out, nothing else in my life is going to fall into place. So this is where my energy and my work has to be. So it's going to be awesome when we invite you all to join that cohort. And then if you are not a member of BariNation, we invite you to do 2 things today. Join the community. If this type of learning, if this type of connection with people is what you have been looking for along your journey, it's what you will find every single day in BariNation. We have partnered with bariatric therapists, and they offer targeted support groups. We have classes that are taught by experts like Rodolfo. We have group movement classes that are now taught by fitness instructors within the community. There are meetups, there are social events and activities. It's just phenomenal. And because you are joining us live, we would like to offer you a special opportunity. If you're not already a member, if you sign up using that link, you will get 4 free weeks in the community instead of 2. It's just our little thank you for doing this work with us. And we want you to have time to explore the community to see if membership really is right for you. So we just invite you. You are not risking anything by just joining today. You'll have 4 weeks for free to try everything out. We think that you will love it, but we know that the community might not be right for you. So we want to give you time. But if this is the type of learning that you've been looking for, BariNation is the place that you want to be. And the other thing that we invite you to do, schedule a free one-on-one discovery session with Rodolfo. He is a wizard. I have personally worked with him. Jason, Natalie have many people that we know have personally worked with him, and it has made a huge difference in our life. And he will meet with you one-on-one for free. just to have a conversation. So maybe you want to deep dive a little bit more into the work that we did today. He will meet with you in a one-on-one environment. He's phenomenal. Absolutely reach out to him. You can send him a direct message on Instagram, or on the next slide, there's a QR code. You can just get your phone out and scan it, and it's how you can connect with him directly.
Yes, you can send me a DM with the word discovery, and then I will give you the steps to follow to schedule your free discovery session. I have 3 spots available for you today, guys. So I would love to work with you.
Yes, he really is amazing. I mean, Rodolfo gave me things that I had been trying to discover for 20 years in therapy, and he gave it to me in like 1 hour. And yeah, absolutely changed my life. So you risk nothing at all by reaching out to Rodolfo and scheduling that one-on-one session. Thank you, my friends, for coming today. I know this work is heavy. Is everybody leaving with what they were hoping to leave with today? I would love to know. Just in the chat or unmute yourselves. Is this what you thought it would be?
Please let us
Or are
know.
you getting, yeah.
I want to know, how are you leaving this who do you want to be in 2023 workshop and meetup?
Oh, Francesca in the chat says, be, do, have. That's going to be the mantra to help me reshift my mindset. Thank you all. It's been really helpful. Yep, people are excited about the cohort. Thank you for this lovely meetup. Yep, nighttime and bath time on the East Coast. Yeah, the do and have are familiar, but turning it on myself to be part of the equation, I think, is a game changer. Having never thought about the person that I needed to be in order to meet the goal. Yes, lots of thank yous. Thank yous, this is wonderful. Thank you, this is awesome. Learned so much. Very helpful information, way more than I hoped for. Awesome. Gave me a whole new way to think about things and how to move forward. Yes, Rodolfo Tabitha is amazing. Yep, everything plus the next step I was missing. Yes, right. Transitioning from doing to being is a transition that I am wrapping my brain around. Yep. Oh, and Michelle's surgery at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Congratulations. Oh, yep. And we are sending you all of our good thoughts. All of our good thoughts. You're going to rock it. Rock it. Oh, so exciting.
We want to be the first to welcome you to the lighter side of life.
Exactly. Yep. You know, there's a lot of other ways that people in the community do it, but we just think that, yep, welcome to the lighter side of life.
Yeah, the losers bench has always had a negative connotation with me. I'm not a big fan of it. So, you know, we came up with lighter side of life.
Yeah, we like that one a little bit better. Awesome, my friends. Well, this recording, yep, we do too. The lighter side of life. This recording will be available on our YouTube channel tomorrow. Please share this resource with anybody that you think would benefit from it. Anybody in the world can watch it and can access this learning. If you are interested in learning more about BariNation, please reach out to us directly. You can send us a direct message on Instagram, or you can email me directly. It's just april@barination.com. Reach out to Rodolfo. I promise it will change your life. And just know that we are always here to support you. So our DMs are always open. We are the 3 humans, the 3 faces behind that, and we are excited to connect you with the resources that you need to find success along the way. And we will be sharing some Who Do You Want to Be graphics on Instagram and in the BariNation membership community, just to kind of help you focus and really continue to do this deep learning. So be looking for those in both places. And if there is something that you would that you know would be beneficial in this being work, right? A graphic or a worksheet or something, please do let us know so we can create that support for you. All right, my friends. Thank you for coming tonight. We had a wonderful time hanging out with you. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you in the community and around Instagram soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have an excellent rest of the day. Bye.
Awesome. 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 Mr. Rodolfo, you want to stop recording?
Just give me 1 second.